Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my YouTube channel. How are we all this lovely sunny day? I'm looking out the window here, it is brilliant sunshine, and I've got my happy top on. This is my spring transitional Megan Nielsen Jara top. It's the version with the tie at the waist, so it's quite cropped in this absolutely stunning cotton jersey fabric from Guthrie and Garney called Chica Cheetah. That's how you say it. Say it slowly and I'll get it right. It is still available on Guthrie and Garney's website, so I will pop the link below. I don't think they've got any of this colour available, but they've certainly got other colour options in this, and it is a lovely soft French terry fabric. Popped on today to talk about my Make 9 progress. Now, I started this late to the party, probably the beginning of February, but I realised I haven't done any updates on it for a while. For those of you who don't know what the Make 9 is, basically you do a Make 9 grid of 9 garments that you want to make. You're meant to do it in January, and then you plot your progress throughout the year. So just to do a little bit of a recap, I'll pop the image up of my Make 9 grid now and tell you what's on it. So we'll just whiz through these really quickly. Garment 1 is the Vativa Blouse from French Navy. Garment 2 are the Mitchell trousers from Closet Core Patterns. Garment 3 is the OONA dress from Sew Over It. Garment 4 is the Veronique robe from Closet Core Patterns. Garment 5 is the JAMEELA jacket from Patterns by MASIN. 6 is the Hinterland dress from Sew Liberated. Number 7 is the Pippa dress from Sew Over It. Number 8 is the Making backpack from Noodlehead Patterns. And number 9 is the Viola top from Forget Me Not Patterns. So I'm not doing too bad with my progress. I have made 4 of the 9 on the grid so far, and I'll run through them all, give you some details on the patterns and show you what my makes look like. The first garment I've made is the Vativa Blouse by French Navy, and I've made 3 of these. I loved making them. So let's have a look at the ones that I've made. I'll try and pop some images up if I remember when I'm editing so you can see what they look like on. But I have got all the garments here. No, this isn't my washing. It is my Make 9 garments. So the Vativa Blouse comes in 2 options. You can buy the pattern and then you can buy an expansion pack so that you can do a Peter Pan collar and long sleeves. So this is the one with the expansion pack. I'll just untangle it. And it's been done in a lovely soft brush cotton. It's got the Peter Pan collar on, and I've put the ruffles on the bottom and the long sleeves and cuffs. So that was my first Vativa blouse. The second Vativa blouse was done as the short sleeve version in this gorgeous, those flowers look like they're painted on. This is a viscose fabric, and I got it from Little Miss So-and-so as a remnant. Oh, there's a piece of cotton dangling there. Oops. All sewists have those problems, don't they? I swear, every garment I wear, I go out and I find a piece of cotton. Annoying or what? So this is the short sleeve version with the ruffle on the bottom. Now, the neckline on the Vativa blouse I found quite gapy and low. Certainly, I made the other one first. So when I made this one, I raised the neckline, and I also felt like the shoulders were too wide. So I did a narrow shoulder adjustment on it as well. So that's number 2. So for the third Vativa blouse, I had the brainwave. Not very often I have them, I know, but I did. And I decided I had this quite see-through cotton, like a cotton gauze fabric. And I was undecided what to make with it. I didn't realise when I'd ordered it online that it was going to be quite so see-through. But what I've done is I've lengthened the Vativa blouse and I've made it into, I'll put the ruffle on the bottom, and I'm hoping this is going to be a really nice beach throw on. So that's number 3 with a little alteration. So let's run through the details of the Vativa blouse so you know whether it's going to fit you, whether you've got enough fabric in your stash for what you're thinking of making it in. The Vativa blouse is from French Navy. I'm going to be reading from my gorgeous notebook. It's got me on the front, look. I got these from Guthrie & Garner and it's been printed in their new blooms viscose print. Obviously it's not fabric, it's been printed on card, but they've made these notebooks and I love it. Looks very nice, doesn't it? Right, back to it, Christine. The Vativa blouse. So I've probably already mentioned there is the options of short sleeves with a ruffle, short sleeves with a straight hem. You can get the expansion pack and have long sleeves and a Peter Pan collar. The size range is from a UK 6 to a UK 18, which is okay, but not as inclusive as I would have liked it to be. Fits me, and that's the main thing. So what fabrics can we use for this garment? They recommend light woven, rayon, voile, lawn, linen blends, and if you're doing the long sleeved version, they also recommend cotton shirting, heavyweight linens, cottons and brushed cottons. How much fabric does one of these blouses take? If you're using a 150 wide fabric, they then view A, which is the short sleeved with the ruffle, takes 1.3 meters. View B, short sleeves without the ruffle, takes 1.1 meter. If you buy the expansion pack, view A, which is the long sleeve version, is 2 meters. And then view B, long sleeve with the Peter Pan collar, 2.2 meters. So not too bad in the amount of fabric that you have to use. Did I like the Vativa blouse, or do I like the Vativa blouse? Well, I must do because I've made 3 of them. Yes, the answer is yes, I do. It is done with all French seams on the inside, so it's quite, for a blouse, it's quite a meaty sew. The instructions are very clear and very concise. There's lots of images in the pattern to follow, so that's great. It has princess seams down the front and in the back, so it takes some time to sew and you need a degree of accuracy, and obviously there are buttonholes. The neckband is a bound neckband, which was an interesting way to do it, but came out really neat. And the buttons are a button placket. So give the Vativa blouse a go. That's the first of my Make 9 and I love it. On to my Make 9 garment number 2. I know, I've made a few. So number 2 is the Mitchell trousers. Now, if you're on Instagram, you will have seen a few pictures of me wearing these because I was so proud of them. So proud. They aren't an easy make, so if you've never made trousers before, either be prepared for a long slog or avoid them and do something a bit more simple first. These are the ones that I've made in this wonderful sunny ochre yellow. I've made the wide-legged version and I've put the adjustable tabs on the sides. Love them. There's an image of me looking stunning in them. I hate having my photo taken. I'd be brave and I'd do it for you girls. So that is the Mitchells. I'm back with my gloriously floral notepad again to go through the details. So the Mitchells come with an option of the wide leg version, which are the ones that I made, and you can also do a tapered leg. Here's an image of the tapered leg version, which I will probably be trying over the summer if I get time. So what are the details? They say it's a modern take on a pleated trouser because the front, I'll try and put an image up here of the front pleat detail. It is quite an interesting construction. The pleat meets up with the pocket at the front and then the pocket slants down. You've got to be precise, but it looks stunning when it's done. I think they are a cracking pair of trousers. So they are high-waisted. Now, because I'm vertically challenged, I reduced the height on the crotch front and back by an inch, just so that they weren't up round underneath my bust. They've got a fly zip, but the construction details are very precise and easy to follow. It has a hidden waistband. Now, that just means there's no actual waistband on the outside. The waistband is facing on the inside of the trousers. They've got deep front pleats, angled front pockets, and adjustable waist straps, which I wore when we went out for a meal the other week, and it was great because when I'd finished eating, I could just cheekily snapping them off a bit, and then they weren't digging into my tum. It was brilliant. So what size range do they come in? They come in UK 6 to 20, so a little bit better than Vativa Blouse, but not as good as inclusive as I would have liked. So what fabrics do we need to use to make the Mitchells, or what fabrics can they be made in? The choice is pretty much endless, to be honest. Light to medium weight fabrics, woven fabrics, such as denim, twill, canvas, midweight linen, and wool suiting. So as long as they're from a midweight onwards, any fabric you like. If you want to do a softer look, they say to use tencel twill or wool crepe, which might be an interesting one, the wool crepe for the winter for a dressy pair. Think about that one. So how much fabric do we need to make the Mitchells? View A, which is the tapered leg, goes from, if you've got 150 wide fabric, which most of it is, you need 1.7 meters up to 2 meters. So not bad. And then for the wide leg ones, you do need slightly more. So you need 2.5 to 2.75 meters. Now I'm 5 foot tall. I do not need 2.5 meters of fabric to make a pair of trousers. I bought 2 meters of the linen that I made mine in, and it was 150 wide. I managed to get the Mitchells out of it, and then also a pair of eucalyptus shorts as well. So if you're unsure, rather than buying too much fabric, what I tend to do sometimes is buy the pattern, cut it out, adjust it to my size, lay it out on the table with the widths marked of the fabric, and then measure how much I'm going to need and then order the fabric. If you're really unsure and it's an expensive fabric, that's probably a better way of doing it. So what did I think of the Mitchells? They're not an easy make. They're definitely intermediate to advanced sewer category. They are interesting. I learn lots from making them, from the tabs at the waist to the pleat and pocket design on the front, and the fly was done a little bit differently than I've done them before, but not any more difficult. Would I make them again? Absolutely. I plan to make a pair of the tapered leg ones in some canvas fabric for the spring and summer if I get time. And then come winter, I'm definitely going to make myself a pair of wide leg ones, probably in a wool crepe. Make number 3. I have been a busy sewing bee, haven't I? To make number 3 is the OONA dress from Sew Over It. And I've made 2 of these. I'll show you the first one, the shorter one first, that is done as the pattern. Oops, get the hanger the right way round. So this one has been done as the pattern. You can see the facings flicking out there. They have facings in the front and the back, wide strap that cover the bra area. And I've made the ones with the waist ties. You can also make them with an elastic ruched in waist. And then there are 2 splits at the bottom so that it makes it easy to walk, because it's quite a straight dress. It's not fitted, but it's straight. So the splits at the bottom stop you struggling when you're walking. So that's the first one. The second OONA that I made was in this gorgeous blue abstract printed fabric. Now, this fabric came in a weird print. Well, not weird, it had border prints down the side. So this bit here at the bottom was that way on the fabric, and the stripes that I've used for the main body were down the middle, if you get me. So I've done a bit of fabric Tetris to make this one. I've made a long version, so I've made it the length that it should be, and then I've added 2 panels on the bottom with long splits in the side. I'm going to love this. I'm going to wear this on holiday for sure. So what can we tell you about the OONA dress? It comes with waist ties or an elasticated waist. It's classed as an easy make and a good beginner pattern because there are no buttons, no zips. You just pull it on over your head. So it's got wide bra concealing straps. Brilliant. There's no closures, I've already said. You pop it over your head. It's got the side splits so that you don't trip up when you're walking. And oh, I forgot to mention, it also has optional side pockets, which are really interesting when you put them in. They sort of veer to the front so that when you tie it, they don't start poking out, which was really good design, I thought, and works really well. So what sizes is it available in? Now, this is the best of all so far. It's a UK 6 to a UK 30. Fan-flipping-tastic. So anybody can make this sundress and look stunning in it. What fabrics do they recommend? Light to medium weight woven fabrics, such as cotton, cotton poplin, viscose, linen and chambray. Now, I would not do it in a cotton lawn or a lighter weight simply because of the facings at the top. You need something with a bit of weight so that the facings stay in. And I used a medium weight woven interfacing as well to give it a bit of weight. So how much fabric do we need? Well, both versions take 2.4 meters of fabric. Now, I keep mentioning I'm 5 foot vertically challenged. There's no way it would take 2.5 meters of fabric. I had a 2 meter piece of fabric and I got the OONA dress and a pair of shorts out of that. So I would say it's not taking more than 1.4 meters for me, which is cracking. Would I make the OONA dress again? Yes, I would. I've got 2 sundresses now, and I'm not sure I'm going to need any more this year, but it will certainly stay in my pattern stash for future reference. And if you're going somewhere hot and sunny this year, I would recommend wholeheartedly to give the OONA dress a go. It is great beginner pattern, and if you're an experienced sewer, it's one that can be whizzed up in an afternoon. So definitely one to keep in my book. So next on my Make 9 grid was the Veronique robe, which I haven't made yet. I know I'm going out of order. Naughty me. Simply because I've been trying to get things ready for my holidays and I didn't need a robe for my holidays. So there we go. So the next one is the Delima Jacket. Try saying that fast. And I've made 2 of these wonderful jackets by Patterns by MASIN, and I absolutely love both of them. Here's the first one. Now, this was my toile one because I used scrap fabrics to make it with, but I actually, now it's made, really like it, and I've worn it quite a lot. So this one's been made with turquoise cord collar, placket, and tops to the pockets and the cuffs. Then the sleeves, I've used some cream cord that I had left over for the sleeve and the back yoke. And then the body has been made in an embroidered canvas fabric that I've had in my stash for absolutely yonks and didn't have a clue what to make with it. So that's my first version of the Delima jacket. And here's my second version. This has been made in a rust-coloured cotton twill and then accented with some faux suede in rust. So I've done that on the collar, the placket, the pocket tops, the cuffs, the yoke at the back. And I've also used, instead of buttons, I've used some press studs for it. I wear this, I have been wearing this nearly every day now the weather's gone a bit milder, and it fits into my wardrobe brilliantly. I went shopping in it the other day with my sister-in-law, and when I was paying for some items at the till, the lady who was serving me said, "I like your jacket, where did you get it from?" I love it when that happens. I've got to admit, not very often. So then we had a long conversation about sewing, blah, 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 and she was going to dust her sewing machine off and give it a go. So that was great. Let's have a look at the details for this jacket. Now, there are two options. There's two lengths, so you can do the crop length, which is the two that I've done, and then there is a longer hip length one, which I'll put an image up so that you can see, which I will probably have a go at for the autumn because I really do like this jacket. So let's have a look at the details. It's unlined and it's got two big welt pockets at the front there. Those pockets are big and roomy. They're brilliant. It has a box pleat on the back, which gives it a little bit of room. You can have the sleeves with a placket and cuff or a simple sleeve hem. So what sizes does this jacket come in? It comes from a UK 8 to a UK 28, so that is really, really good. Fantastic. Should cover everybody. Fingers crossed. What fabrics do they recommend? Any mid to heavyweight woven fabric, canvas, denim, cord, twill and wool. So take your pick really. As I said, I've made mine mainly in canvas, but the longer length one, I am going to make it as a wool jacket for the autumn and winter. Or shacket, maybe, because it's not lined. How much fabric are we going to need? If it's view A, it goes from 1.8 to 2.3 metres. And view B, the longer length jacket, is 2 to 2.6 metres. Now, in my head, I am going to make this in boiled wool. So I'm going to lay the pattern out because boiled wool is not cheap. So I am going to lay the pattern out on my dining table at the width that the fabric would be, and I'm going to make sure I don't order too much fabric by laying it out and then measuring it, because there's no way I'm buying more boiled wool than I need, because I'm not sure what else I would use it for, to be honest. So in answer to the question, would I make this pattern again? Oh yes. You don't even have to put specific patterns on your Make 9 grid. You could just put garments that you want to try, and then it opens it up a little bit more so that you don't have to stick to one particular pattern, which, to be honest, I may do with my Make 9 next year because it is a little bit restrictive. And there are a couple of patterns on there now that I'm wondering whether I will actually make or not. But we'll see. I'm persevering and hopefully I will achieve the Make 9. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and fun, that's great. Give it a like. And if you want to see my regular videos, I post once or twice a week. Every Monday there's a video on my makes and plans. And if you subscribe, you won't miss them. So take care, happy sewing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.